I have learned from mistakes. That's how I've learned. So if I make a mistake, then that means I've gone outside my comfort zone to make that mistake, and that's when I'll learn something.
So was art something that you were always drawn to, even when you were a child?
I remember going far back to when I was a toddler. And my grandfather, who was a light horseman during the First World War, would often tell adventure stories of things he got up to during the war, like stealing rum off the French or something like that. And as a result of that, I would draw while he would tell a story. I mean, I put little dots for, and for bullets, I suppose, and little stick figures and all that kind of stuff, wearing helmets. And it was my grandmother who said, I think that boy is going to be an artist one day. Can't really say it kicked off from there, but I had this interest in art ever since, I guess. So it was just something that I really enjoyed as a child, growing up with it.
You've led past lives working in illustrating and advertising, and I've heard you say that you divorced the advertising industry. What prompted you to really pursue creating your own art?
What really made me start following the art career is a love that I had for painting. I guess I was probably over the advertising industry, and I saw the art as another source of income if I could succeed at it. And I also found that it was just this love that I never really pursued after I finished university. And like kind of say, when you're on your last legs, and having no regrets and all that kind of stuff. Well, now I'm doing this art thing, so I've covered all bases, and I've been very, very fortunate to have made a career out of art and an income. But I do really think following this creative career that I've got now is far more fulfilling rather than following someone else's direction, like an art director or a creative director. Advertising industry is very good, taught me a lot of things, but it did for me, and at a personal level, it did lack a sense of creativity for me.
You're surrounded by quite picturesque scenes here at your studio. What is your preferred subject matter?
I would have to say I'm drawn to water, but I'm also drawn to the landscape as well. Probably not quite as much, but gee, I do love the strong light of a sunset. I do love the strong light going down over a gum tree. It's just something as simple as that, and I just think it's marvellous thing to look at and just observe how the colours change when the sun gets really low and the light becomes a lot stronger. I just enjoy it, but then again, I enjoy the challenge that every subject provides too.
You enjoy painting the landscape and you enjoy painting on plein air. You often host plein air workshops. How would you say painting on plein air helps students?
Plein air is, I think, just a wonderful opportunity for anybody to build their skills, particularly their observation skills. And you're confronted with so much visual material. It's even confronting for me sometimes. It teaches the student or whoever's the participant is to actually find a way to sketch what they want to record and then leave out the rest. So it's that old less is more.
You teach classes, you host workshops, you also run overseas painting tours. Why should students go on an overseas painting tour with you?
I think an overseas painting tour is an opportunity for people to experience the location that we're in. So it's more than just a holiday if they come on an overseas painting trip. They're painting a location and they're going to remember that location, I think, for the rest of their life. Rather than just sort of taking a photograph of that location, here's an opportunity to sketch in that location and you're not going to forget it. So it's an experience, it really is.
You've said that you only learn when out of your comfort zone. What do you mean by this?
I've learned by my mistakes. I don't consider myself to be an academic person. I've got lots of books and I've looked at all of the pictures and I've read some words, but I have learned from mistakes. That's how I've learned. So if I make a mistake, then that means I've gone outside my comfort zone to make that mistake, and that's when I'll learn something.
What other advice do you have, or artistic lessons do you give your students?
I think that it's just important for them to be brave and to worry about the picture that they're creating rather than all the technical aspects of the painting process. So I don't really mind whether you start from light to dark or dark to light or whatever you're doing. It's got to be fun rather than stressful for a student. And I think they need to set themselves a bit of a deadline. So if you say I'm going to take a week to do one painting, well, you're only going to get one painting done, and you're probably not going to learn a lot. But all of a sudden, if you give yourself, I'm going to do this painting in 3 hours, and you're disciplined enough to stay within that time frame, then you're going to get something done, and you're going to learn something because you're on this emotional roll. And I think that's dreadfully important for a learner to actually just to do it, not to be intimidated by anything. It's only paint, and it's there to be used, and it's there to be slapped down.
How would you describe your painting style?
I like to think that my painting style is energetic, and I would like to think that it's loose. As much as I love really tight, realistic artwork, I don't have those skills. I like to work quick. I like my paintings to have an energy about them. I don't mind exposing the brushstrokes if they need to be exposed. And for me, again, that is me getting emotionally involved in the whole painting process. So if I'm in the middle of a painting and I'm on a real roll, phone goes off a dozen times, then they can wait. I'm too busy, the brain's working, it's on fire, and that's just what I keep on working at. So yeah, it's good fun. It's a real emotive process.
What's next for Craig Penny? What do you have coming up the rest of this year?
There's more art trips coming up. Painting in Bali for the first time this year. France, Japan again this year, which is looking forward to that very, very much again. And I think just continuing on with this self-education, if I could put it that way, with my artwork. So I don't want to stay stagnant. Would really love one day I'm going to explore abstraction when I have that knowledge, but I don't have it yet. So, but it's going to be an interesting year, and the years to come will be just as interesting, I hope.
Craig Penny teaches workshops and regular classes in watercolour and acrylic at several art societies across southeast Melbourne. Every year he runs overseas painting tours to Asia or Europe, with his Autumn in Provence tour coming in September 2024 and a trip to Japan later this year. Craig is also available for commissions. Feel free to contact Craig about teaching, workshops, tours or commissions via email or mobile. For more information, visit his website or socials.